Your Highnesses, we are meeting at a moment of historic and unprecedented security challenges for northern Nigeria. Never in our recent history have the threats to our collective existence been so grievous, so pervasive, and so ruthless. I would like to extend our deepest condolences to the government and people of Gombe State over the tragic days of General Rabia Abubakar, who was recently abducted and was somehow mishandled by bandits until death. Earlier on, we had similar cases like that of Honorable Anas from Jigawa on the way to Kaduna or Abuja, and those of our friends and leaders as well from Gombe State of Recent. And before then, such cases had occurred in states like Borno, Yobe, and so many more. May the souls of all those that departed rest in peace, and may we have peace and order back to our land. This tragedy tells us a painful truth. Insecurity in the north affects all of us, irrespective of social status, whether you are a farmer, a monarch, a governor, or a retired general. No one is safe until everyone is safe. And unless we work together across all divides, we are all vulnerable to the challenges. The theme of today's meeting accurately captures the three most important issues that concern northern Nigeria. That is peace, unity, and development. Threat to peace in the form of insecurity, which manifests as banditry, insurgency, farmer-herder clashes, and communal violence, represent the single biggest threat to the survival of Nigeria and indeed northern Nigeria, which is a composite part of it. These security challenges are eating into the very bond that unites us as northerners. Without security, there can be no unity. And without security and unity, there can be no development. The security situation in the north has reached a point where silence, hesitation, and routine response are no longer acceptable. Entire communities have been uprooted. Farmers have abandoned their farms, and markets have collapsed. Schools have been shut down, while millions of our people have been displaced or forced to live in fear. The time has come for us to act with the seriousness that this situation demands. Enough of meetings that do not produce results. Enough of communiques that are not implemented, and enough of promises that are not followed by action. All the methods are clearly not working. We cannot continue to confront rapidly changing security threats with outdated strategies and fragmented response. At our last meeting on the 2nd of December in 2025, the Northern Nigeria Governors Forum resolved to establish a common security framework. But that framework is still on the drawing board because many of us, I repeat, many of us have not honored our obligations. And meanwhile, the situation is worsening. The next joint meeting of the Northern States Governors Forum with the Council, that is this Council, scheduled for Kaduna on the first week of July in 2026, must therefore focus on actionable steps. We must find a clear pathway that can provide a workable solution to all the crises that the North is facing. We must restore law and order, and that we can do in conjunction with the support of the federal agencies. I'm happy that the IGP himself is here, and already the federal government, through the National Assembly, has approved constitutional amendment to accommodate state policy. And that, I believe, is going to help us in providing security in our localities. There must be no safe havens for criminals, no tolerance for those who finance or collaborate with them, and no ambiguity in the government's resolve to protect its citizens. The honest truth is, these security challenges do not occur in a vacuum. They have their roots deep in decades-long underdevelopment. Today, 86 million Northerners, representing 65% of our region's population, face multidimensional poverty. A staggering 80% of Nigeria's 18.3 million out-of-school children reside here in the north. In a country where 60% of our population is below the age of 35, a hungry, jobless, and illiterate youth is nothing more than a cheap recruitment pool for banditry, insurgency, and other criminal adventures. The challenge before us, therefore, is to reverse this dangerous trend before it gets too late. This can be achieved through radical overhauling of our security architecture. The current conversation, as I mentioned earlier, on state policy reform offers some hope. And I would like to commend Mr. President and the National Assembly for their support towards a reform we have long championed. It is our firm belief that state policing will greatly help address these challenges when done in conjunction with the traditional institutions.